What the hell? What I see beyond the door is not the nighttime courtyard. The sun hangs high in the sky, shining down on the blood-soaked grass. Why? What's going on? That's when I notice the weight of Morgana's body is gone from my arms. And then... out in the courtyard. Nellie. I see a flaxen-haired girl vomit blood and fall to the ground. A young man kneels over her and takes his own life. No. There are dead and dying townsfolk all around the nun. The swordsman is skewered as he scrambles to reach her. And at the door just to my back, Jacopo. The Lord lies unmoving, slumped against the wooden frame in a pool of blood. How can this be? We were all just talking not a minute ago. How the hell did we go from that to this? Why? Why, damn it? I changed the past, did I not? I steered them away from this outcome. I changed. Oh. That's what this is. As much as I don't want to believe it, it makes sense. The sense that something wasn't quite right I've been feeling ever since I got here. The darkness that swelled up when I touched the necklace. I was never in the past at all. This isn't the real world. It's the realm of the dead. The same domain in which the cursed mansion resides. Which is why, when I arrived here, something felt off. Because death filled the air. Somewhere deep down I could sense the similarity between here and the mansion, that gathering place of departed souls. It was never possible for me to travel back in time, to exist and interact with the real past. I was able to summon the darkness, because this isn't the real world. Merely a reconstruction, a projection of their souls' memories. It was all set in stone long ago. None of the time I spent with any of them was real. Every emotional moment I thought I shared with them was all an illusion. None of my conversations, none of the smiles I managed to get out of them were real. I was never there. I was never present in the past with them. I'm currently sometime after all that, sometime beyond the era Morgana lived, beyond the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. What I spoke of as their next lives was actually their past lives. All three tragedies are history. Immutable, irreversible history. There's nothing to change anymore. What then? Did I fight so hard to achieve? What did I accomplish by warning them of their next lives? By convincing them to endeavor to take different paths? Nothing. Was it all for nothing? I go limp at the sight of it all, dropping to my knees and sending ripples through the sea of blood. Morgana, the girl who called me an angel and asked me to deliver her unto her father, is still chained up inside the tower. What did I accomplish? What purpose did anything I do serve? Was it all just a big damned waste of time? But my cries go unanswered, simply fading into the dead air. Giselle, who kept me going for so much of this ordeal, is still silent. No, I did accomplish something. It wasn't a waste of time. Everything I did, it wasn't for nothing. I may not have changed the past, and I may not have stopped their tragedies, but I achieved something. I uncovered their stories. I learned the truth of everyone's involvement. You can't take that away from me. I know you're out there, Morgana. I know you've been watching this whole time. You know the truth now. I accomplished that much. That has to change how you see them, at least a little. If the present Morgana has a change of heart, decides to let go of her hatred, then that should cause the cursed mansion to disappear. Set their souls free. I'll take that leap of faith. That what I've done is enough. And make my way back, believing there's a future for them beyond their tragedies. I'm coming back, Morgana. I'm returning to that house. To that world of blackness, seething with hatred. To my present. I'm going to try this once more. An honest attempt to really see you. To face you, Morgana. I'll be there as soon as I can. Kneeling in a puddle of blood, I turn my gaze toward the heavens. The searing sunlight is slowly eroded by darkness, and my body, mind, and soul follow suit. Soon after, I added a suit. The bloody, corpse-riddled courtyard dissolves, and I find myself once more in an utterly lightless void. I clench my teeth as hard as I can manage, squeeze my eyes as tight as I can, because that's the only way I can keep the screams back, the tears from spilling down my cheeks.
Michelle. Open your eyes, Michelle. Come to me.
What a visual this was on the first go. What?
We meet at last.
What? Why is the white-haired girl here? Never mind that, where am I? I was trying to get back to the mansion. How did I end up here?
Do you know who I am?
Of course I do. How could I not know who you are?
Splendid.
Oh, it's been a while since I've voiced her, huh? But what are you doing here? Why is there a sword in your hands? And why can I not speak?
I was able to return to this gathering place of souls, thanks to your efforts. Your uncovering of the truth of those events that transpired so many years ago allowed me to remember everything I had forgotten. To remember who I am.
Remember who you are? You mean that you're a part of Morgana?
My apologies. Bringing your soul here without any preparation has left you in a bit of a nebulous state. But my heart told me I had to do this now. Though you have no voice, I can feel your presence quite clearly. Oh, Michelle, namesake of the great Archangel Michael and man of tremendous virtue, I have brought you here to ask for your assistance. I pray you are able to help me. My request for you is simple. Take this blade, and with it, extinguish my soul.
You... What are you? Extinguish your soul?
I realize that it's cruel for me to ask this of you. And for that, I deeply apologize. But I want it to be you who sends me off. Could you grant this girl her selfish request?
That's not why I sought the truth. Not because I wanted to see anyone extinguished, but because I wanted to set everyone free from the mansion's cursed bonds. Because I wanted to put an end to this cycle of pain and suffering. Because I wanted to save every last person caught in this tragic quagmire. That includes you. And you're asking me to eradicate your soul.
I must be destroyed. You can't tell me that after everything you've seen, you haven't realized that I have no place in their lives. Well, it's true Morgana wished for misfortune to befall them. If I hadn't been there, none of their tragedies would have taken place. If I hadn't been there, the flaxen-haired girl would have been able to let go of her yearning for her brother. If I hadn't been there, the shipwrecked merchant's lover would not have lost her place as his tether. If I hadn't been there, the ambitious businessman would not have been betrayed by his close friend.
Why are you acting like it's all your fault? Are you trying to say everyone would be better off without you? Dude, this is brilliant, man. Because throughout the second half of the game, over the course of it, the white-haired girl sort of fades from memory. Her role in the first half is to be abused and meet with tragedy over and over and over and over again, garnering our deepest sympathies. And slowly she fades from our minds. We start to think, oh, maybe she's not even really real. And that somehow devalues her suffering in a sense. You know, you might not think that at the forefront of your mind, but deep in the back there, something's telling you, like, Morgana's the real tragedy. The white-haired girl is just an expression of Morgana's tragedy, of her despair. But no, she was a fully formed individual, and she deserved none of what happened to her. And here we meet with her, face to face, and she comes to think the same way we might have, where she's like, I am expendable. I'm not the one who matters here. Take my soul, so that a better world may be born, so that these tragedies won't be repeated ever again, because I am the common denominator, the common variable for these tragedies. And no, girl, you're just as much a victim as anyone.
I was not a victim in the tragedies. I am culpable for them.
Culpable? Like hell you were. I saw everything, from start to finish. You didn't intend for anything bad to befall anyone. You always acted out of the good of your heart. And you're trying to tell me that makes you culpable.
What do you say we answer one last lingering question, Michelle? The question of what I am. The explanation might be a bit lengthy, but I would like to share it with you before I depart. I was, as you ascertained, created by Morgana's mind as it broke down in that tower. I was born to be a receptacle for her pain, to ease her suffering. But there's more to the story than that, Michelle. Upon her death, Morgana's soul was afflicted with great pain, resulting from the hatred and resentment she bore. The fact that she viewed herself as a saint only served to amplify that agony. Her identity as a saint gave her purpose in life, while simultaneously constraining her. A saint must put herself second to all others. She must be caring, generous, and forgiving. And she must not bear any ill will for anyone. That was not how she felt deep down, though. She was not a saint out of the goodness of her heart. She wanted to hate them, but her identity would not allow her. Those two conflicting aspects of herself tore Morgana apart. She was unable to withstand it. So she took all her saintly characteristics and gave them to me, caring for others, putting herself second, being forgiving. And then she severed that part of her soul.
So that's why you always seem so abnormally pure-hearted.
I was no longer a part of Morgana, but something entirely separate.
Sorry. These high-pitched voices, man, they're hard for me to sustain.
However, I wasn't me yet either. When you came to the mansion and resurrected Morgana, you resurrected me as well. But I had no self at first. I was, I suppose, not much different than the particles of dust floating around the mansion. But eventually, that dust gained a sense of self, taking form as a human soul, and descended into the realm of man and the fate which governs it. What do you think the first thing a new soul wishes for when it is born, Michelle? To live. I wished for a continued existence in this world, in a world where I was never meant to exist.
I refuse to accept that there's anything wrong with wanting to live.
I was supposed to remain within Morgana, as a part of her. I was never meant to be a soul of my own. To become one was to turn against the laws of the universe.
Man, this to me feels like the climax of the game. Perhaps my favorite sequence, my favorite directed sequence is perhaps after this. Could be classified as falling action even, but this is the climax of everything. The climax to, the sort of twisted climax to Michelle's childhood fixation on swords and honor and knighthood, and this has like an Arthurian sort of feel to it. It's like, this is what you always wanted, right, Michelle? To cut someone down, to cut down a wretched, savage soul. And in a sense, it's also like looking into a mirror. I cannot say enough good things about this writing, man. It's unbelievable.
I wished to live, and Morgana wished to curse the three men's souls. Though we sought after completely separate things, because we were once two parts of a whole, each of our wishes were shaped by the others. In order for an incomplete soul like mine to survive, it needs something to bind itself to the world, something strong enough to prevent the universe from correcting the anomaly. And so the wish of that anomaly gave birth to yet another anomaly. A house that sat outside the currents of time. One that could descend into the mortal realm at various times and places. And it was that house that served as a tether for my soul.
You mean it wasn't Morgana's power that created the mansion? but your own wish.
And why did it have to be that house that bound me to the world? Because that was where she lingered, the girl from which I was formed. Which meant that my wish had the consequence of granting Morgana's with it. The house, having attained perpetuity, served as a place for those reconstructed my The house, having attained perpetuity, served as a place for those reconstructed by Morgana's curse to return to. Furthermore, my connection with her had another consequence. I was the one most affected by her wish. As much as I may have wanted to do good, for them to be happy, my fate was dictated by her wish. In that position, my merely showing affection for anyone was damnable. Falling in love was an act of villainy. My very presence malevolent.
Don't say that.
I was the true witch, the true demon child.
Stop talking, please.
It should never have been possible for me to have a life at all.
Please stop.
The universe must be returned to its proper state, Michelle.
Don't talk about yourself like that.
I must be erased, and Morgana's soul restored to its original form.
But why?
I do not belong here. I never belonged here.
What's so wrong with wanting to live?
The defect must be repaired.
You're not a defect. Damn it. Why couldn't I be able to get a word in now at least?
The restoration will not be instantaneous. It took many, many years for me to be formed, and it will take as long, if not longer, for the process to be reversed. But her soul will eventually return to its proper state. And perhaps, when her soul is restored, Morgana won't be a human. Perhaps she will be a butterfly, resting upon the lip of a flower. Perhaps she will be that flower. Perhaps she will be the breeze in which the flower sways. But whatever form she takes, it will be her, whole and complete. With me gone, no more tragedies should take place. So please, take this sword and extinguish me. Put an end to this cycle of misery. I want you to be the one who does it. Please. Kill me.
I can't. You're asking too much of me. Yes, I want to save Morgana's soul. But do you really have to die for that to happen? Is there not some other way?
Won't you do this for me?
I cannot. I could never take that sword.
I know it's unfair of me to ask this of you, but I want it to be you. As selfish a request as it may be, I want a certain...
Ersatz what does ersatz mean? I'm gonna look that up actually. Ersatz. That's a not good thing to call yourself, my friend.
As selfish a request as it may be, I want a curtain drawn on this ersatz life. Ersatz life. By the man I admired so deeply.
You admired me?
Let's talk a little bit about that admiration, shall we? And where I got my physical appearance. This goes back to when I was mere... This goes back to when I was mere particulate matter drifting about the house. While I still had no mind of my own at that point, I witnessed everything that took place within the house. And in the moment of your death, Michelle, I was born.
You saw my death.
Your actions that day appeared to me as the very definition of selfless and honorable. Your life bore many similarities with Morgana's. You were both abused, imprisoned, called a witch. But while Morgana sought vengeance, you watched your own mother burn your crucified body, and you wished for release rather than revenge.
Wait, I can do that a bit better.
But while Morgana sought vengeance, you watched your own mother burn your crucified body, and you wished for release rather than revenge.
There's nothing honorable about that. I had just lost all hope for myself.
I expect you'll disagree with me, say that it was a sign of your weakness, but that was not how I interpreted it. Self-sacrifice being one of the core characteristics Morgana gave to me, I was deeply moved. You didn't curse those who had wronged you in life. You chose your own destruction, and I admired that strength of spirit. That admiration helped to shape my wish, to determine the form I would take, the name I would have. That's why, whenever I gained a physical body, it was modeled after yours, with snow-white hair and ruby-red eyes. Why my name was always Michelle, after the same angel from whom you took yours.
I'm in no way worthy of anyone's admiration.
My admiration caused both you and the woman you love a great deal of pain, and for that I apologize. But it also shows just how much I wanted to be like you. I would ask for you, if you would be so kind, to consider this a great favor for a starry-eyed little girl. A girl who quite literally idolized you to her very soul.
Don't.
I couldn't ask for a greater honor.
How can you tell me that?
Than to be erased from the world by you, my idol.
And then ask me to kill you.
Please, Michelle, be the one to send me off.
I can't do it. No matter how many times you ask, I can't kill someone who's told me they wanted to live. I know what it's like to wish for life.
I don't know if you've realized it yet, Michelle, but this is the first time we've actually met. The story of the fourth door was Morgana's creation, which means that until now, we've never been in the same place while both aware of the other's presence. As far as you should be concerned, I'm a complete As far as you should be concerned, I'm a complete stranger, yet still you hesitate. I'm glad that you're reluctant, but you've shown me enough sympathy.
I don't consider you a stranger at all. Indeed, this is the first time we formally met. But I've watched you go through so much. I've seen you live 3 different lives. I've seen the impact you had on people. I've seen the impact you had on the people behind all 3 of those doors. You are in no way a stranger.
With my erasure, Morgana's soul will eventually become whole again. Her curse, and the eternal cycle of agony it brings, will be no more. When I am gone, everything will return to its rightful place. I implore you to not hesitate any longer.
Are there really no other options? Is killing you really the only way to make things right? To release everyone from this curse?
I'm delighted to have finally been able to meet you, the man after whom I modeled myself. I am incapable of taking my own life, Michelle. God's teachings prohibit it, and as such, my identity as a saint prevents me from doing so.
No, I don't want you to commit suicide. I want you to find some way. I want to find some way for you to live, to remain a part of this world.
I know that by asking this of you, I am causing you great heartache, and for that I offer you my sincerest apologies. But so long as I continue to exist in this world, Morgana can never truly have redemption. Tell me, who is it you've been fighting so hard to save?
That doesn't mean that I didn't want to save you too. I believed I could save everyone summoned to the mansion. That no one would have to suffer anymore. That there would be no more tragedies.
Michelle, take the sword, please. Worry not, Michelle. Doing this will allow you to save everyone. You'll cast off the darkness inhabiting the house, set all its prisoners free, give Morgana her salvation, and give me mine as well. Extinguishing my soul will be my salvation. I've had a full, satisfying life.
The hell you have.
Even if every moment of it was rooted in iniquity.
That's not full and satisfying.
I had well beyond my share of happiness. I don't need any more. Oh, Michelle, namesake of the great Archangel Michael, and man of tremendous virtue, I ask of you to please draw this cycle of misfortune to an end, to take this blade and deliver everyone from their fates. It must be you, Michelle. You must be the one to do this.
Man, I forget if I'm supposed to wait here or not. But I mean, sort of like I had mentioned, this does kind of feel like Michelle's fate.
Thank you, Michelle, for having the strength to do what must be done. And I apologize for putting you in such a difficult position. Once my soul has been erased, I will be gone from this world forever. I will not return, not in this or any other form. I feel no woe in that knowledge, though. I welcome my destruction with the utmost of joy. However, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, for you to keep just a little bit of me in a corner of your soul, Michelle, to remember me, to remember the life I lived, that would make it all worthwhile. Thank you, Michelle. You may very well be a genuine.
Don't didn't say it. Yeah. I forgot that she didn't say it, but it felt right that she didn't say it. The whiteness around me. Oh, no. The whiteness surrounding me evaporates, and I find myself back in the observation tower. I can still feel in my hand the impact of the sword piercing her breast. Damn it! Why? Why couldn't there have been some other way? Erasing a soul is not salvation. God. God damn it all! She deserved better. So much better than that. No, now is not the time to grieve. There is work to be done. A girl to whom I must offer the chance for salvation. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. Blah, blah, blah. I mustn't cry over the white-haired girl's death now. There are things I need to take care of first.